Yeah, my case starts with 50 years female patient met with an road traffic accident, immediate onset of symptoms. Presenting complaints were severe pain, swelling, complete inability to bear weight, no open wound or breach contact, and compartment syndrome ruled out. These are the X-rays. Yeah, friends, guys.
So let's start from the back. Doc, can you read this X-ray for us? Hello,
Yeah.
Doc. Read the X-ray for us. Mike.
EPV is showing lateral condyle tibia fracture with proximal fibula head fracture.
How will you describe that lateral condyle fracture?
Lateral condyle fracture with the depression, type 2, short skull.
2 or 3?
3.
3, sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Is the fibular fracture straight? Is it spiral? What is it? Is the rotational injury component injury there? Or is just a compression? Just a compression, depression, sure. Is there a rotation there?
There is a
Fracture, no?
Yes,
It's going
yes.
round. So it's a spiral fracture of the fibula. So obviously there's a rotation element of the injury over there, which you'll have to remember when you're doing your fixation. No? Classifying fracture, but then just look at it a little bit more in detail.
Yeah, anything you add? You would like to? Clinically also.
Interesting, he wants to have the ankle X-ray.
One ankle X-ray has to be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as it's a rotational injury.
Yeah.
Mesonomy.
True. Yes.
Yes.
What is the Mazenau injury?
It's a rotational injury where
Sit. It's okay. It's not in class.
it's a rotational injury where you can get a spiral fracture in the
Which
distal
part of the
one-third of
fibula?
the one in the proximal one-third of the fibula
Below the neck.
below the neck. Yes. It's in the above the neck.
Below the neck, no?
Yeah, it should be below the neck in
This
masonry.
is above. This is more or less at the level of the superior tibio-fibular ligament complex.
Yes.
So the golden
Right at the
rule,
top
one
of the
joint
head.
above, one joint X-ray always holds good. Don't
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah, you should technically, of course, but not to identify a fracture there.
Yeah, these are initial physical assessment: large effusion, ligament laxity, joint line tenderness, and neurovascular intact. These are the X-ray findings demonstrating lateral plateau involvement with depression, lateral projection confirming articular surface disruption.
So what is the mode of injury here? What is the mechanism of
Okay.
injury? Can anybody get what would have been the mechanism of injury looking at the pattern of the fracture? No, that RTA or fall from height doesn't matter. What would be the impact, the mechanism of impact, because that tells you a lot about the injury.
Suppose somebody told you that just show how the person fell down. Meaning the person is walking, running. Did the person fall down like this? Did the person fall down like this? Little bit helps, no, to think about the injury. Then you will plan your post-op and your fixation much better.
Yes. Well,
So valgus force on the leg.
yeah, these are radiological findings summary. Can you need any kind of more investigation for such patient? Apart radiological, apart X-rays?
CT scan.
Always. Proximal tibia, distal radius,
Intra-articular
distal humerus. Always. Without CT, you should not go further. You will end up missing out a lot of things inside.
Yeah. I think these are the radiological findings summaries. Depression, lateral plateau, articular surface, depression more than 5 mm, split pattern, and Sachka type 2 or type 3 fracture pattern. Next, after doing CT, these are the CT findings. CT shows what advantage we'll have after doing CT. We'll have precise measurement. Then it quantifies exact articular depression and step up, reveals fracture pattern complexity, and it will guide for surgical blueprint. We can plan proper way of execute proper surgical modes.
So he
And
made
these are the CT findings. Yeah.
He made one important observation that there is no ligamentous laxity. So would you look for any specific ligament injury when you have this kind of injury? MCL. How do you look for MCL in a fractured scene? There will always be a MCL, complete, incomplete, whatever, along with the valgus force. So how do you suspect that? You can't do a stress X-ray with a fracture, right? So you look for medial ecchymosis, bruising, tenderness, everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, injury mechanism and classification. What already mentioned about mechanism of injury, valgus force combined with axial load drives the lateral femoral condyle into tibial plateau. Classification we have already mentioned, and surgical threshold. Articular incongruity exceeds 5 mm, operative indication made. Anything you add, anything about this?
Yes,
Then
so
preoperative planning. Preoperative planning, we need to have imaging studies properly. In case of ligament injury, we can consider for MRI and soft tissue evaluation. First of all, I forgot to tell about, we have to consider soft tissue envelope in such kind of proximal tibia fractures. If you have got proper skin envelope, then only you can plan for the surgery. Anything you add to, sir, about the soft tissue cover? Okay. Then what Dr. Satish told about span, scan and plan, that we have already mentioned here. And initial stability can be given in terms of plaster of Paris, skeletal traction or spanning the fixation. Usually bony stability equals to soft tissue stability. For that we need to span, scan and plan. That has been already elaborated in last lectures. Then implant selection strategy. What are the implants we should keep before such kind of surgeries? Locking plates, subchondral raft screws, and if needed, bone graft materials.
So what will be your plan for surgery? Okay, now everything is fine, soft tissue is fine, everything is okay. You are ready for surgery. What will be your plan?
Sir, I would like to fix with a first I would like to elevate the depressed fragment. I would take a lateral approach.
Enumerate what other
Steps.
problems that are there which you will address one by one and then decide what to
So first I will go take the lateral approach to the proximal tibia. Then I would like to elevate the depressed fragment, and then I would like to fix the reduction with temporarily with K wires, and then fix it with a medial plate. Lateral plate.
essentially you like to elevate the depressed fragment
Yes.
and get the fragments shifted out together and the whole thing is going to fall into
How will you reach the depressed fragment? Next. Will you make a window in the lateral cortex? How will you reach that depressed fragment?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry?
CT.
No, hold on. Can we have, see, this is the clinical scenario. You want to elevate the depressed fragment. How do you reach that fragment?
Medial side. I can
Medial side, okay.
and I can push with a L punch.
Okay. You want to make another, yeah, that is an option. What is the easier option?
column into a double column. It makes sense. You have
Yeah.
So you have the lateral condyle which is already fractured. Okay, you can open it like an open
Here,
book.
here, sir.
Turn it around and you will see the condyle.
Yeah.
Shift this a little bit here.
Yeah.
Put a small bone punch, elevate it on top, put it back and put a K-wire and the whole thing will just fall into place. No? You already have a door over there. Why you want to violate the side which is not injured? Eh? Doesn't make sense.
There is
You can easily just shift it on that side, push it up and put it together.
there is
So
one
I
more
have
thing
a
you can do
Yeah.
is, you know, can you go back to that slide, this one. So you know, sometimes you may have a hinge and your medial this thing, the lateral is not completely opened up. So there you might hesitate to open up the fracture also. So there is a DHS drill. So you can use a DHS drill, which is a little wider drill, to make a hole in that part of the, you know, the apex over there. So the hole happens and then you can put your punch inside. And there's one more trick. If your L punch you're struggling, so I follow the Gynac principle. So I keep all the Hegas dilators. And you'll be amazed with the way they are curved. They go in every direction and they expand also. So you know, with different millimeters. So you can use the Hegas dilator.
Serial dilators.
Yeah, serial dilators. So you can
They
use
don't
that.
expand. You use serial.
Yeah, no, I mean to say to accommodate the hole.
Sir, is it necessary that we
Oh, sure.
go for arthrotomy to see that intra-articular? one?
Extremely pertinent
I
question.
was going to ask Pratik the same question actually. That how will you know you have elevated?
Just and look at it at the same incision.
Is
How
that the
will
only
you know,
way?
Pratik?
Easier.
You can do it arthroscopically also. There are people who put in a dry scope and see for the elevation. Submeniscal arthrotomy
It's very easy.
is
There, right
easier.
there. Just a
Yeah.
small incision. Lift up and you can see it right in front of you.
Yeah.
And confirm it radiologically also. You have a C-arm with you anyway.
So only C-arm is not reliable. Arthrotomy karna hi hai.
It is. It is fairly
No, there is
reliable.
a point there. See, the lateral condyle is convex. On the X-ray, it is very misleading. You might think you are elevated, but you are not elevated enough. So you'll be very surprised. You do one extra step. You do the submeniscal arthrotomy and take stay sutures with ethibond or something, so you can suture it back, the attachment of the meniscus. You don't have to lift so much meniscus, but you'll be surprised the way the convex surface of the joint is restored when you do it under vision. So there is a lot of difference, unless you do it arthroscopy assisted.
So
Drain the hematorosis at the same time. Moment you open it and the meniscus, the entire blood will drain out, you can give a light wash if you want. It works both ways.
So when you do a submeniscal arthrotomy and you give a little bit of varus force, the entire condyle beautifully you can see everything, every single thing. So that is a very good. Give little varus tug and you'll see the entire condyle.
Learn this submeniscal arthrotomy. It is not difficult. Here it may not be so useful, but sometimes pure type 1, type 2, you can have meniscal incarcerations, you know. However you try to reduce it, does not close. That is because the meniscus gets incarcerated in the fracture. So you have to lift it off from the submeniscal arthrotomy.
Yeah. These are the surgical instrument requirements. We should have proximal tibia locking plate set, K wires, different bone clamps, impactors, all routine ortho instruments. Then we should have C-arm position for AP and lateral views, late protection for operative team, image intensifier on contralateral side. Then these are the plates, proximal tibial locking plate sets. Then patient positioning, supine position, tourniquet as per surgeon choice, and slight flexion of the knee joint. These are the surgical approaches and fixation execution techniques. These are the elevate articular surface, cortical window created, used to restore the joint line anatomy, graft if necessary, provisional fixation with K wires, definitive plating, lateral locking plate applied and proximal and distal screws are secured, and fluoroscopic confirmation of intra-articular congruity. These are the immediate post-op X-rays. Anything you want to comment about the post-op?
You didn't need a graph.
No.
Most of the time, these two graft them once upon a time, but now you don't really need it. If you compress it well, grafts are not required.
Plate could have been a bit short.
Sorry?
Anything to be added for?
Yeah, she says the plate could have been a bit shorter, right?
Yeah.
That's an option.
These are the wound condition, immediate
you
post-op. Post-op.
So if you see that avoid written there, that's a very important step, because very often if your plate placement is not perfect, you will be finding it going just subarticular there, and you feel okay, chalta hai, because it is below the joint. But you have to be 5 to 7 millimeter below the visible radiological line, because it's a concave surface and the deepest portion is deeper.
Yeah.
Is RAF screw enough?
Yeah, it is. Why not?
If the column is intact,
Yes.
no problem. So after you have done this surgery, he has put the plate and everything, what will you do before you come out of the hospital? Most important. He has put his lateral plate, he is very happy on the C-arm, looks nice, decides to close. What does he do before closure? Last question. Most important. He will check for MCL, okay? Because this is the real time he can check for MCL. After fixation, he does his valgus test. If he has any doubt, MCL, he opens, repairs, whatever, based on his experience. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sachin.
Thank you,
Thanks
Sachin.
for a really wonderful case. Yeah.
Which horse?
Yeah.